Hi, friends. It's Julie Norman. Do you remember me? I know it's been a long time, and I must apologize for the long absence. I will mention a little bit about what's been happening at the end, and I am sorry I haven't gotten back to a lot of the comments in the past year. Actually, I didn't actually get notifications that anybody was sending comments, so I didn't respond. So anyway, I'm sorry for that. All right, we're going to just dive into what's sold, and this is just kind of what's been selling over the last few months. And what has been selling are basically a lot of Continental Chrome cards, International, and of course Montana in the West. This is just a sampling, this is not everything. But I've had a box, a long time ago I bought a box of Continental Chrome cards for really cheap. There was a bunch of these old, like advertising, I think they were from the same publishing company. Just put them up for between $5 and $10, and they just continue to sell, as you'll see. Here is a maxi card, maximum postcard, where you have this, the first day of issue and all that stuff. They don't sell very highly, but they eventually, there'll be a collector for them. Here's another one of those Continental Chromes from that box. It's just for a watch. And I have one left. I had quantities of them. I have these civil defense postcards. You might have seen them before. I sell them at sets of 2 each. And then they just, continue to sell. Just put up a quantity. I think I've got about a buttload of them. Here's another Continental Chrome and Montana. So it's West Yellowstone postcard. Sheep. I had three of these, so I just put them all up together. I only have one left. Other people like sheep postcards too. Then this morning, I had a nice sale. There were 5 of these different Packard service postcards. This is this one, and a whole bunch of other ones. When a couple years ago, I went to Virginia City, Montana with my friends from out of country, and they had in one of the shops a box of postcards, and I bought it for $50. And here with this one sale, because I've made back the money. Of course, I've sold other ones from that box too, but $10 each. And they've been in my shop for a couple years, but that's the way it goes with long tail. A lot of art postcards have been selling too. Here's one example. Most of the time I just put $5.97 on them, but if I'm lazy. If I want to do a little research, I'll see what they're going for, and this one was more along a higher amount. This one is a little different. London Life, kind of weird looking, so that sold too. Who knows? Here's an airplane postcard. Hello, Popeye. I can sell airplane postcards too. Although I'm not as crazy of a seller as he is. Here is a nice one from Montana. This is a good sell. Funny enough, I sold this one because everything is cross-listed on Hip Postcard at the same day by the same person. So the poor guy wanted 2, but I only had 1. So I shipped it through eBay, and I canceled the one through Hip because eBay gives you a mark if you cancel. This is an off-the-rack postcard, Continental Chrome. When I was at the Bighorn Battlefield, I bought a bunch. They had tons, racks and racks of different Native American postcards. They were reproduction. And I think I grabbed 2 of each to see what would hit the wall. I didn't get all of them because there were tons of them. So when I see what sells, then I can go back sometime and get some more. This is really not that far, and I like a drive. Here's another off-the-rack Continental Chrome. I think I got this at the museum. You pay $1 or $2 for these, and you can sell them. Especially when you go to the specialty museums, and not a lot of people go to, and something like this, a Ghost Dance shirt, is not something that's commonly seen. Here's another off-the-rack Continental Chrome postcard from Montana. This was when we toured. All this stuff was on vacation. So my mileage, if I stop everywhere and everywhere I go, get postcards, it turns into mileage reduction. I can mark off my mileage because I am getting supplies and they are selling. And this one was it's a fascinating tour beneath the streets. It's when the all the buildings in Havre burned. And so they had all these basements. So all the businesses went beneath the streets. And one of the places is a bordello. It's a really sad place. So, because those women never saw the light of day again once they went down there. So, fascinating tour. Here's another one of the ghost dance. I don't know. Maybe the same person bought those. Here's when I lot up things, and these are they're just like those pretty divided back postcards, and I scan them in, and then I go into Publisher and I put them together, connect them so that you have that group photo right here. And this is $9 for two. I mean, it's just something that usually people avoid selling. Of course, they sell slow, like everything else. Another Continental Chrome. This is a very Montanan Charlie Russell. Most of my Continental Chromes go for about $5, so $5-6. So these are, I'm just showing you the interesting ones. Here's I think this is a Continental RPPC. A lot of internationals are Continental size. An old ship thing, $15 was the going rate, about. Here's a very unusual one, I think, because it's a very common, I think, it's very popular painting, and I would have thought that this would have gone for less. The Birth of Venus, Botticelli, $10, yeah, just for Continental Chrome. This one I included because it's Christmas, and it's very plain to me. I don't even know why I listed it. D.B. Berg, 1950. I don't know. Whatever. But anyways, I got $6 for it. Here is a Germany postcard, international again. So it was just a regular, it's a garden. I don't usually list the international ones of common tourist sites. Like, I'm not going to do like a castle or like the London Bridge or something. But the ones that are little different views, and I will list those. Another Continental Chrome. These African postcards of different people have actually sold pretty well. Just kind of interesting what people will want. Here is a library postcard. There was a few years back a box of postcards that you could get of the libraries of the world. And I think it maybe cost $10 to $20 for the box, and I think you got 100. And I've been selling them for $5.97, and people like them. I don't know if you can buy this anymore, but that's a tip. If there's an interesting box of postcards out there, such as the libraries, you can, that box of, let's say I spent $20 for it. I've more than made it back on these sell, because they actually sell more quickly, I think, than other ones because they're unusual. So $5.97 out the door. This is an interesting one. This is from that box of postcards that had that publishing company from the beginning. And I had 4 of these. I actually had more than that. I think because I restocked it, I think I might have had 6 to 8. And they had been sitting there for a few years. I don't know how long. Funny enough, I got another sale. Let's see what it is. It's a Hilton and Memorial Hospital in Guam, so international. Funny. I have not been listing consistently like I used to, but I've been trying to get back into that. But anyways, all of a sudden, these started to sell like hotcakes, and my husband said, raise the price, and I'm like, I'd rather just sell them. But what happened, I asked a couple of them, no, these have been sitting for a while, and all of a sudden they're all selling out. What caused you to want to buy them? And basically, there was a social media post with this image. It was about the, let's see here, the Metroliner. And they were waxing nostalgic about it, which is kind of funny because it wasn't that long ago, maybe within the last 20 years. And it was either TikTok or Instagram, I don't know, but that's where that image was, and then it sold. So maybe I should get a viral Instagram, TikTok, and feature my postcard images. Anyways, here's another. Is this a Continental Chrome? And it is an international chairlift. Interesting, $15. I don't know what this means. I am the candy kid. I don't know, but I've seen other postcards. This is about what they went for. And Almond sepia gravure. I don't know what. Oh, here. That's what this was right here. A publisher. Another Continental Chrome. It's art. It's puffins. People like puffins. So if you see puffin postcards, they'll sell. Another Continental Chrome, a very common one, and we did have snow already. I don't know if the Beartooth is open again or if they're going to open it again if it's not open because there's a bunch of snow up there. It's too bad. It's my favorite Sunday drive. $5.97 for something that's very common. RPPC, that is not that great. And look at how dark it is. You can barely see the people here. But the interesting part of this is the sleigh. Women driving the sleigh. So I think that stood out. $11.97. Nobody argued with the price. Another Continental Chrome and a Max postcard. Well, no, was it? A Centennial postcard. That's what it was. $15. Montana. International. Oh, let's see here. Intaglio. Is that? I don't know. Isn't it Hampton? Or is it? Is it international? 6 pence. Yeah. So that was a plot. I don't know what country that is. $8. Another art postcard, and it is an RPPC. $8.97. The sculpture posters actually go pretty well. Here is another plain postcard. New Orleans Southern Belle. So we have a couple different things. We got plain. We've got Southern Belle. Air base. We have a pilot. Getting into planes is not a common view of a plane. And then these I pick up, another one off the rack at Museum of the Rockies in Bozeman. And I don't know if I mentioned before, but the first time I went, I bought some postcards. They immediately sold out. So I eventually came back again. And the second batch is selling slower, but they are selling because you can see here, this one is out of stock. So I think next time I go to Bozeman, I'll have to restock again. And the last one from eBay is this one, another one, International Hotel Kuwait, $9. And now I have been selling things on other places, such, let's go to Hip postcard. Just when I think I'm just going to cancel Hip because I'm not selling anything, it'll throw me a sale or two. I think it can read my mind. Most of the postcards I sell are between $5 and $6. Here's a few that stood out. And this one is an RPPC of Black Hills, South Dakota. Went for $13.47 because I give a little discount on Hip because there's less fees. Here's another one, RPPC and Montana, $8.97. Basically with Hip, to me, it's kind of a backup where my listings are in case something happens to eBay. And also, I make enough to cover the fees. So it's kind of like paying for backup with benefits, backup with benefits. And here's another one, Good Wishes. It's kind of it's $7.17. Not anything special. Okay, then I sell this lot of 10 random postcards for $10 plus I think $5 or $6 for shipping. I do need to update mine, but this is a way for me to sell those Continental Chromes that I get in lots. Some of the ones that I get for me to send out, because I still like to send out postcards to people, and lot them up. These are ones that can be sent out. They are clean. They're not written on. They're ready, just kind of off the rack. So I sell those, and people are liking them because I don't know how many times I've sold out of this supply. I put up 5 lots at a time because I don't want to do too many. I like to have, because some people buy 2 lots at the same time. So then I have to have quite a variety of cards. So anyways, that sells. And then there's this one that I recently put up, my highest price one. And this is a bunch of ephemera that I have sitting around, or some things that I craft with. And I just have too much in my office. Are you with me? It's just kind of chaos right now. And I put together ephemera, junk journal, advent calendar, countdown to Christmas, whatever you call it, and packages them up with nice packaging. I have some videos on my other channel, which I'll tell you about. And I've sold 3 of the 6 so far, and it is not even November yet. But I did package it nicely. I did promote it nicely. We have braille paper. We've got lace. This is like a postcard folder, pieces of doily, pieces of fabric. And this has been nice to sell these. And right now, I can't see it in here because this is my view, the shop owner's view. But when I look at it, when I'm not logged in, it says it's in 5 people's carts, which I don't know what that really means. People are interested in it. This is like vintage wrapping paper, an old envelope, wallpaper, just all kinds of things. It's a way to get rid of things out of my cluttered office. So that's been nice to get those sales. And it also caused Etsy to say, hey, wait a minute, you don't have all your stuff updated for your taxpayer information because now you've sold this much. And it suspended me for a day until I got that up. That was fun. So that's what I've been doing and selling. And where have I been? Well, if you remember, I don't know if you remember, but my original Osmo Pocket camera, I left in the rain. And it got shorted out. And I felt at that point I lost momentum. And I did get another camera. I did get another Osmo Pocket. And but it just felt like I lost that momentum. And I think sometimes I need breaks. I think I needed a mental break because I'd been making these videos for a while. And so what I started to do was I started to do what I wanted. I had all this extra ephemera left over from when I buy box slots that really isn't valuable enough to sell or put in my booth. And so I started to make junk journals and craft and do collages and all that stuff. And if you have seen the beginning of this channel, it started as a paper planning channel. So what I did was I didn't want to go from paper planning to reselling to paper crafting again, because I think the people who are here for the postcard selling are here, and the people who were here for the paper planning are not here. So I started a new channel. It's called Butterfly Papers, and this is it. I'm updating all my stuff. I'm going to register my name because it also works for, I think it's going to work just for not only making journals, but also when I publish my next book, I can just have one name. This is what I've been doing. And the interesting part is that my views, okay, some of the views are not, I'm building it up. So some of the views, like I do a video and I maybe get less than 50 views. With my original channel, I think I get, a few hundred views. Let's see. Let me just take a look here. Oops. Okay. So the last few videos that I had published, I had 232, 365, 3.4. Oh, that was that was about junk journals. That's ironic. 700. So, between 200 to 500 average views, which isn't too bad, I think. But the interesting part is that if you go to my most popular ones, they're still paper planners. Look at this one's gotten 13,000, 11,000, 9.2. Here's a bag view. Here, the first one that I got was for postcards is 5.5, and here, of course, the one I sold for over 700 got 4.2. But those are the only two up at the top. So when I look at these videos, my popular videos, I have 15,000, 7,000, 4.5, 4.2, 1.5, 1.3. So anyways, the views I get much more views and activity on it, and I monetize more quickly on it than the postcards. Not that I don't like making postcard selling videos, but there's sometimes I just need to do something different, to do something more creative, because selling postcards isn't creative. I mean, the setting up and the discovering things, that's what I took you along for. So I really don't have a lot to report since then. But what I can do is I can try to do at least monthly what sold videos for you, just to show you what's going on and to keep you up on what I'm doing. I also kind of need accountability because I have not been consistently posting things, listing things, because I'm trying to finish my book. I'm making journals and selling them, selling kits. I'm going to be selling printables. I'm starting a Substack. Um, trying to keep my house from not looking like a hoarder house. I have a new puppy. His name is Ranger. He kind of kicked my butt the first month because autoimmune issues, being fatigued. So there's been a lot going on. And it's not like I haven't been busy. But then again, it feels like it just takes an hour or two really to make these videos. I hope this is helpful for you. Let me know what you think. If you would like to see more often than a month, or what you would like to see. I don't feel like I have a lot to share at the moment because I'm feeling like I'm just treading water, doing the same thing, listing what I have. I haven't been sourcing much because I'm trying to get down my inventory that I have, but I will be going on vacation next year to England with my friends who came here a couple years ago, Canada and England friend, and I will be sourcing there. So that's why I'm trying not to source too much now, so I have plenty of money and room for the inventory coming in, and I'll have a need for it. So, all right, so that's what's going on. I could keep rambling, but I won't. Nice to see you guys again. Sorry for the delay in. Sorry for the length of time. I really shouldn't have let it go that far. I guess I needed a break and I needed a creative outlet. Let me know if you're still here below. Send me a comment or a like, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.